Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. Hope you are fine and safe at your homes. I warmly welcome you all in lesson number 1 of week 3. Topic is contagious and non-contagious diseases. After this lesson, you all will be able to know that what are the diseases and their classification, definition of contagious diseases with examples, definition of non-contagious diseases with examples, causes of contagious and non-contagious diseases, impacts of these diseases on human health, symptoms of these diseases, and preventive measures for these diseases. So let's start our lesson with the definition of disease. Students, do you know that what are the diseases? And do you remember that last time when you fell ill? A disease is a particular abnormal condition that negatively affects our health. And diseases are also known as medical conditions that are associated with specific symptoms and signs. Definitely, whenever you get ill, you feel certain signs and symptoms of that disease which are specific to that disease. You recognize every disease with its signs and symptoms. Classification of diseases. Basically, the diseases are classified into two categories: communicable diseases and non-communicable diseases. Communicable diseases are also known as infectious or contagious diseases. We can also say parasitic diseases. And non-communicable diseases are allergic, organic or deficiency diseases. These are the names which we can use for these diseases. In your book, the word contagious and non-contagious diseases are used. Do you know what is the meaning of contagious? Contagious, the word which came from a Latin word contagio. The meaning of contagio is touching, contact or infection. Contagious diseases. Contagious diseases are also known as infectious diseases and communicable diseases. Infectious diseases that spread from person to person are said to be contagious. These are catching diseases. I already told you that the contagious word is related to contagio, the meaning of which is contact or touch. So a contagious disease is a disease which spread by the contact. And these diseases are caused by germs and pathogens. Pathogens include bacteria, fungi, and viruses. Causative agents. The agents which cause the diseases. These are bacteria, viruses, and parasites. Students, do you know that what are the parasites? Parasites are the organisms which live on other organisms for their benefit, and as a result, they produce the disease in the organisms. Most of the organisms which cause infectious diseases or the contagious diseases, these are microscopic in size, means that these are too small. So that's why these are known as microorganisms. Micro means small. So different groups and the categories of these organisms are listed here. These are bacteria, viruses, protozoa, fungi and helminthes. Whenever you fell ill, what you feel? Why you feel uncomfortable? Do you know every disease have certain signs and symptoms? So, the most common symptoms of the contagious diseases are appetite loss, means whenever you don't like to eat, diarrhea, coughs and sneezes, fever, exhaustion, body aches, pain in body muscles, nausea and swelling in different parts of the body or in affected areas. Do you know, boys, nowadays what is the most common contagious disease? I think everybody know about the COVID-19 and coronavirus. That is a virus which is highly contagious. And you know the signs and symptoms of the disease caused by that virus? Some of the signs and symptoms are also I told you. coughing, sneezing, body aches, etc. Now the question arises that how we can save ourselves from these contagious diseases. These contagious diseases are very dangerous sometimes because these can spread easily from person to person. So we can save ourselves from these diseases by appropriate measures. What these measures are, I think everybody knows. Nowadays we all are doing it very well, like sanitation, by washing our hands, by covering our face, by drinking clean water, by the control of the vectors. Vectors are basically the organisms which are the cause of the spread of the disease. For example, mosquito can cause malaria. So mosquito is a vector. And we can save ourselves from these contagious diseases by the vaccination. The most common way by which we can save ourselves from these contagious diseases, or we can fight the germs, by washing our hands again and again. And there is a certain method of washing the hands which is shown you in the media nowadays. It is very common, and I think so everybody knows that how we have to wash our hands to clean ourselves and to fight from these germs. As I already told you that the microorganisms are the cause of these diseases. So the treatment, how we can treat the diseases. Once we get that disease, once we get ill, then how we can save ourselves, how we can treat ourselves. So the treatment depends basically on the microorganisms, that which microorganism caused the disease. For example, if the disease is bacterial, we use antibiotics or antibacterial drugs or the medicines. If the virus causes the disease, we use the antivirals. If the parasites cause the disease, we use the antiparasitic medicines. And if the fungi is the reason of the disease, we can use antifungal medicines. Contagious diseases spread from person to person. So the common examples of contagious diseases are cold and flu, cough, chickenpox, and cholera. These are the diseases which you can get from any other person easily. How contagious diseases spread? There are the three ways by which contagious disease spread. These can spread by indirect mean, by direct mean, or by the vectors. How these diseases can spread directly? When the infected person comes in contact with the healthy person, that infected person transfers the disease to the healthy person. Indirect mean, by the coughing and by the sneezing of the infected person. The healthier person can also get that disease through the vectors, like mosquitoes spread malaria. So mosquito is a vector. Vector is the organism which is the reason for the spread of the disease. Here today's assignment is, you will define the contagious diseases and also list down the 5 contagious diseases. You will do this work in notebook, and you can draw 2 diagrams of contagious diseases of your own choice. Thank you so much, boys. Allah Hafiz. Take care.